What's going on, guys? We are here today. We're going to be doing a bone-in pork loin. I'm going to show you guys how to French that up. We have the meat that we bought up from Joe's Meat Market, and we're going to be using our GC Backyard Rub today, available at Joe's and at Chard. So yeah, let's get this thing started. This is a bone-in pork loin. There's actually two sides. There's the loin side, which we have here, and then the shoulder side. This side actually has a rack of baby backs here, and also attached here is usually the chine and feather bones. I took those off yesterday. Had to use a saw, so I cut those off. Your butcher can take those off for you too. So I went ahead and took those off, and I've taken the skin off of the back side of the ribs. And today, you guys can see there's the eye there. That's your pork loin, right? So when you buy it in the store, it's just this part. And these are your racks of baby backs. And today we're gonna cut it right down here. We're gonna French it, what basically just means we're gonna expose the bones here. We're gonna tie it, and then we're gonna brine it for a few hours. Overnight's best, but we're gonna go ahead and do it about 6 hours, and then we're gonna smoke it later on today. And like I said, we're gonna be using our Backyard Rub, the original. Thanks, I got this actually at Joe's there. So yeah, let's get started, guys. So I think first we're just gonna clean it up a little bit. I'm gonna take a little bit of this fat cap off. I'm just using a 6-inch boning knife here. I don't have to take all of it off, but some of this is pretty thick. I like to work in nice thin layers, make sure I'm not getting too much of the meat off there. So you don't have to do this. I'm just going to take a little bit off of it though. And then, oh, I forgot to say, we're going to tie this up when we get done, guys. I got the twine here, just so that the roast holds its shape, right? Actually, I'm okay with that. We're not going to do too much of it today. This fat that you trim off, guys, will make great ground sausage, or if you wanted to put it in chili. I'm not going to have enough really to do anything with it, so I'm just going to toss it. But that fat actually makes great flavor, great food. So, all right, so we're going to French it. We're going to cut right down, straight line, nice smooth strokes. And this meat that I cut off, I will be saving. We can make pork tacos or something else with it. All right, so all the way down to the bone. And you want to stay nice, smooth strokes, just with the tip of the knife. We'll come down across the bones. And guys, you don't have to French this. This is really just for aesthetics, for the way it looks. It'll cook up just fine whole. And actually, when you get done, you'll slice it up. You'll have these beautiful pork chops. But I haven't done this in a really long time, so I wanted to go ahead and try it out, see if I still got it, see if we can still do it. So we've cut that down. Now we got to cut the meat in between the bones. Right. You're just gonna all the way to the bone. And again, guys, this is great meat. This is your baby back rib meat. So we're gonna save that, and we'll cook up something, make some tacos or something with it. So take these in there. And you guys, your butcher will do this for you. You can buy them, but if you can just learn to do it, you'll save yourself a lot of money, right? So sometimes we were able to get this for $2.99, $3.99 a pound whole, and then I took the chine and feather bone off of it and saved myself some money. Because once you get it, this is called a French roast or a crown roast. They're gonna add several dollars per pound on that, and it's really not that hard to do, and it's fun. Just make sure you have a sharp knife. Like I said, I'm using a 6-inch boning knife. This is nothing special, it's Slitzer. This is just like a mass production knife, great for heavy duty, and if it gets nicked up, it's not expensive. It's stainless steel, easy to sharpen. So I do have some fancy knives. They're just harder steel, better made, better materials, and yeah, you guys can just find something that's comfortable for you guys to use in your hand. All right, so now that we got to clean all the meat out from in between, we're going to just kind of clean up these bones a little bit, right? Get this meat off of here. We can, you guys can see. So we've got those Frenched, right? Just get some of this off. Need these little nuggies. We'll do something with those. So we're gonna save that. All right, guys, and that's basically it. As you guys can see, we have we're gonna tie this up here in just a second. You've got the pork loin here with the Frenched ribs. These are the baby back ribs. This is the loin side, so that's why you'll sometimes hear these referred to as loin back ribs or baby back ribs, because they're on the back side of the loin. So the loin side, and then the other half of this pork loin is going to be the shoulder, where it attaches to the shoulder there. So just be so there we are. So we're going to tie this up real quick, guys. Something else I haven't done in a long time, so we're going to see if we can make this work. Now I'm actually going to tie this up in between the ribs to hold its shape, so that whenever we get it cooked, it's going to hold its shape, and when we cut it, we're going to have these nice, beautiful chops. So go around, tie this on there. Not too tight, but tight enough, right? If you guys have any questions, y'all can just leave them in the comments of this video, and then I'll do my best to answer them. Like I said, I haven't done this in quite a while, but let me get this going. Like I said, we're gonna do the GC Backyard Rub Original. I also did make a simple brine. The brine is for 1 gallon. We did a cup of salt, a cup of sugar, and a gallon of water. And that's your basic brine, right? So we did that. I added a couple of bay leaves and some peppercorn to it. You don't have to do that. Basically what that brine's gonna do, it's gonna impart some moisture to it. And also the sugar's gonna help with the color. It's gonna brown it up really nice. Allow that color to go in there. And yeah, so brining, I typically always like to brine my pork and my chicken. Pork and chicken, I think, really use it. They're both really lean meat. And the more moisture we can get in there, the better. Like I said, you can get really fancy with it, guys, when you do like your turkeys and your pork. I mean, you can put some sage, you could put some orange peel, lemon peel, citrus. You could do apple juice, vinegars in there. Be careful of the vinegar because it gets a little acidic and it'll denature your food. But you could really, I mean, there's tons of recipes out there, but I like to do just keep it simple. Like I said, the point of me brining it is just to impart some, a little bit of flavor, some moisture, and that sugar is going to help with the color whenever we smoke this. So we're almost done here, a couple more. And again, I got this roast at Joe's. This was whole. It still had the chine feather bones on there, chine and feather bones on there. Like I said, those guys out there will take it off for you. They've got the saw. Go out there, they'll custom cut it for you guys. And but I took that off here just with the saw that I have here. And then we Frenched it by taking the meat off of the bones. And again, they will do that also. Your butcher will do that too. They'll be happy to do that because they can get more money for it. And I think it looks really nice. Like I said, if you want to do this for the holidays, or we have some friends coming over, so we're gonna, and I haven't done this in a really long time, so really want to keep the skills sharp, you know? You never know. You never know when you need to do this. So this butcher's twine is actually really thin. I actually prefer the bigger one, but I didn't have any, so we're using this thin twine. As you just saw, it snapped, so it's okay. We'll just try again. But usually butcher twine is a little bit thicker. I'm going to finish this up. Sorry if you hear my dogs in the background. It's a pretty raw video, guys. You probably hear some Mickey Mouse back there. It's my daughter getting down on some Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. But yeah, we're just a family company. We are just doing this for fun, sharing it with you guys. I said we're just real people. I'm a real dad. Got real kids, dogs, family. Doing this in my kitchen. So if you guys hear that stuff going on in the background, apologize. But yeah, here at GC Seasonings, guys, it's all about the family, friends, barbecue, just having a good time. So we're gonna tie this up. This will be our last one. So do this. And there we go, guys. That is our bone-in French roast of pork. You guys can see we got that cleaned up. And that's it. I've got, let me show you guys. Now you can buy different Ziploc bags. That's what I'm gonna use today. Put it in a Ziploc bag, put it in the brine, put that bag into a foil pan, put it in the fridge. It needs to stay cold. One thing with the brine, guys, so you gotta heat that up. So you're gonna put the salt, the sugar, the pepper, anything you're gonna put in there, put it in there with the water. You're gonna heat that to dissolve the sugar and the water. And then you need to cool that down. So essentially what I do is I take all my ingredients and I put it into a pot with half of the water and heat that up, dissolve it into the half of the water. And then the other half of the water, I keep it cool. And you can even add ice. I typically do that. So I split it up, half of the water on the pot, and then the remaining half, I split that in half and do half cold water, half ice to chill that down. But that brine needs to be cold, right? So that thing needs to be not just like room temperature, but cold, or else it's gonna cool down your meat, turn it colors. Anyway, so a bag. So I have leftover from Thanksgiving, I have these huge turkey bags, brining bags. I figured what the heck, I've already got them. This is a little bit overkill for this little bitty roast, but that's what I have. So that's what we're gonna do. And we're just gonna set this inside here. They work really, really well. So we're going to see if I can get this to stand up here for just a second. We're going to toss that in there. Also, guys, if you brine, so like I said, the brine is salt, sugar, and then whatever seasoning you want to put on there. So whatever seasoning you're going to use, you want to taste it. Make sure that it doesn't have too much salt, because you've already got salt that's been in here. So it actually goes through. What happens with that brine is you get reverse osmosis, so the salt draws the moisture out of the meat, and then because the meat is sitting in liquid, it naturally wants to draw it back in. So when it draws that liquid back in, it's going to bring that flavor of your brine back into the meat, right? So it means it's going to bring in that sugar, it's going to bring in that salt. So if you have too much salt in your seasoning and you brined it, your meat's going to be salty, right? So with our rubs, we've worked really hard to keep that sodium content low and down so that A, you can get more flavor, B, you can watch your sodium, and you can kind of control it. If you want to add more salt, if you want to add the MSG, again, none of these seasonings have MSG in them either, so you can add that yourself. If you feel like you want more salt, you can add more salt any other time, but we really try to keep the sodium and that kind of stuff low in our seasoning so that you can really taste the flavor of the meat, taste the seasoning. But anyway, so let me put this in here. So we got that going right there, and then I've got the brine here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but see, we've got just water that's got the sugar and the salt dissolved in there. We've got bay leaf. I've got mixed peppercorns in there, and we're gonna dump this whole thing into this bag, and hopefully I don't make a mess. Because you want this thing to be submerged, guys. And the bigger the piece of the meat that you're brining, the longer that needs to go. Like I said, this could really have gone overnight, but I didn't have time to make a video, and I wanted to show you guys. I know we've had lots of questions come to me about brining, and wanted to show you guys that. So that looks like it's going to do. I'm going to pour the rest of this in there. There we go. So we got to be careful not to make a mess. That's why we got the foil pan. So we're going to close this up. I'm going to try to get the air out of it. That'll take up less room in the fridge and all that jazz. So you guys can see that it's fully covered, it's fully submerged. And the bigger the meat, the longer it needs to sit. This really could have been done overnight. It would have been fine. But we'll get a good 4 or 5 hours in there. So it'll be all right. So if you wanted to brine like individual pork chops, you could do that brine and just let them sit for a couple of hours because they're actually kind of small. You could do whole turkeys, anything you guys really want. So we're gonna leave it like this, and that's gonna go into the fridge. We're gonna let that sit, and then I'll do another video later of seasoning and smoking. So appreciate you guys, love y'all, take care of your family, enjoy.